Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marissa. If you are new here, your favorite problematic housewife. I am so happy to finally be able to record. I'm so sorry it takes me so long to get a video out, but my life is crazy. I have a lot going on and I'm doing my best, but I'm glad to be recording today. So today, the theme of this video is toxic YouTubers. Yes, because I feel like lately on the internet, it's just full of toxicity. And listen, all I hear is the word toxic. I swear, sometimes I'm like, if I never hear the word toxic ever again, I'll be happy. But that's kind of like the perfect word to use for what's been happening. There's so much going on. We're going to be talking about the Doherty Dozen, Dad Challenge podcast, a little bit of Radiant Britt. I have some updates on Allinwithari and some thoughts on one of her last videos. I also want to talk a little bit towards the end about like smaller community dramas going on and all the fighting and just plain nastiness that I literally see daily from some people. And then I'm also going to touch on the weird fact that a lot of people are friendly with Roadhog again, which is insane. I mean, he only beat his wife and swatted me, so I mean, I guess that deserves forgiveness. Really strange. So we're gonna get a little bit into that too. I will have timestamps and chapters up in this video if you do want to skip around to a certain part. I'm cutting in to add that I am breaking this video up into two parts because it is just so long that I cannot put it in one video. So this will be the first video, and then I will also be uploading a second video with the second half of what I'm saying. So let's just get right into it. We're gonna start with the Doherty Dozen. Now, I have been following all the people covering the Doherty Dozen, and I have been really disgusted by a lot of the things that I've been seeing people put on their channel. And it's really strange to me that the whole community who discusses mommy and family vloggers are always claiming that these moms are exploiting their kids, they're putting their kids in harm's way, they are doing all these things to their kids. Yet people get on their channel and literally talk about Alicia's kids. I mean, Radiant Britt literally just did a video again talking about the kids. And she brought up one of the kids having a girlfriend in his room. Alicia found like Crocs under the bed that weren't his. And Radiant Britt did an entire video that was just absolutely gross and started saying that, you know, who knows what they're doing on the bed. The girl snuck in the window. He shouldn't be having a girlfriend. Since when is it okay to talk about somebody else's kid's dating life on YouTube? I'm sorry, but that's not commentary. I am so sick of this weird crap that people put on their channel being labeled commentary. Talking about somebody else's child's dating life is not commentary. And if you want to make the argument that Alicia shouldn't be talking about her kids and dating and if they have girlfriends and all of this on YouTube, you can make that argument. But you are a hypocrite if you then go on to make a video and discuss the exact same thing. It doesn't matter if she put it out there. That doesn't mean that all of you get to talk about it too, because it's not your damn kid. It is her kid. Like, when are people going to get it through their fucking head to leave this family alone already?
But when she was in the kinship child's room, the boy, and if y'all are new to my channel, I don't use her kids' names on my channel. I try my best to keep their names and definitely keep their faces off of my channel.
It doesn't matter if you don't say their names or show their faces. You are still making content about someone else's children.
But it's what she calls the bonus kids, the boy. It's a sibling group. The boy in that sibling group that's there through kinship She was cleaning his room and went under his bed to find some clothing, which is totally normal. But then she ended up finding a pair of Crocs. And this pair of Crocs, she pulls them out from under the bed and says, "Whose shoes are these?" And then she goes on to fill in the blank for herself and mentions how the Crocs actually belong to this boy's girlfriend.
These aren't even our shoes. Those must be Marissa's shoes.
Now, if any of y'all need a little bit of a refresher, if I can speak, this child just turned 13 years old days ago. So, 12-year-old boy having a girlfriend is already kind of a polarizing subject. Some people think that it's totally fine and normal. Others are on the side of, he's a child. Why does he have a girlfriend? And why is the girlfriend, most importantly, why is she in his house, in his bedroom, taking her shoes off and putting them under his bed? I don't know about you guys, but for me, I'm not going to take my shoes off by a bed unless I'm planning on getting into that bed or sitting on that bed or doing whatever on that bed. So, number one, that was a little weird. Number two, how did she go home with no shoes? Did she sneak in the house? Did she go through the window? Did she have extra shoes with her? I have a lot of questions. How do you guys feel about a 12-year-old boy having a girlfriend? Now, I get it. I'm not completely uptight or, whatever. At that age, yes, we know, I remember when I was in middle school, there were girls and boys running around with a significant other, and it was so serious and everything was, all fun and we're going to get married and this is going to be my forever and whatever. But I don't know of a lot of parents who would allow a significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, come to their house and go into their child's room. And we know that it's unsupervised because, let's be honest, Alicia and her husband both are running in a million different directions all day long. If you're going to try to sit there and say, oh, well, it was supervised, blah, 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 I don't believe it. That's just my opinion, because I have seen how hectic and chaotic the Doherty household is on something as simple as a normal, school night. Kids running around all over the place so badly to be the cool mom that she is willing to allegedly, possibly risk teen pregnancy in order to be the relaxed parent, the cool parent.
Okay, this is freaking weird, creepy, and disgusting. The fact that she is getting on her channel and talking about a child's possible dating and or sex life is creepy. If this was my child and being talked about in a video and their dating life, I would be raising hell right now. That's disgusting. Why does she have a lot of questions about somebody else's child's dating life? Please tell me why more people don't think that's weird. It's weird. You don't do that. First of all, that's humiliating for the child to have some stranger online talking about him having a girlfriend. It blows my mind every day how so many people do not see an issue with the children constantly being talked about and made content out of. Britt is exploiting these children more than Alicia is. She is constantly talking about the kids. She's putting their socks on blast. She's talking about their chores, their dating life, what they're doing in school, what they're doing here and there, what Alicia's doing with them. People's children is not commentary. I don't care how bad you want to prove that somebody is a bad parent. You don't use children to do it. Especially coming from a community who claims they're all about the kids. It's so gross. You don't know what they were doing. You don't know that it wasn't supervised. You can't just sit on your channel and make allegations and assume things with no proof. That house is chaotic. Britt said herself that the house is chaotic. Please tell me how any children are in a bed doing it in that house full of kids in and out. The kids share rooms with each other. It's weird. And then to insinuate the girl was climbing in the window and they're doing things on the bed, it's disgusting. And all of you people who sit there and talk about her kids constantly and their personal life, you should be ashamed of yourself. Just because she puts her kid's life in a vlog, that doesn't give you the right to make videos about her children. Like, I feel like I'm banging my head against a wall sometimes with this stuff. I mean, the Doherty Dozen Reddit that Britt is always getting information from and promoting is just disgusting. They're constantly on there talking trash about all the kids and just saying horrible stuff. Like, I'm not even going to post it on here because it's so nasty. And you cannot claim that you're worried about her children when you are the one who is being nasty to her kids and to the family and exploiting them and making money from talking about their personal life. It's wrong, dude. Like, I'm over it. The next thing I want to talk about really quick before I get into the Dad Challenge podcast is a video Britt put out while I was editing this video. And again, it was the Doherty Dozen included in it. But this particular thing really pissed me off because she started talking about how Alicia now has security in her driveway. People noticed that she has security in her driveway. Britt was also talking about how Alicia was showing what buses the kids go on again, which makes no sense to me. Why are you bringing attention to things that you are saying is dangerous? That community always does that kind of stuff. They're like, oh, look, go to this person's video and they're showing their kid in a diaper. What if there were people who didn't notice that? What if there were people who didn't notice it until you pointed it out in a video and then they go to look at a kid with no diaper on? Why are you pointing out all of these little things that you are saying is dangerous and oversharing? You are bringing more attention to it. That is not productive when you are claiming your first priority is that Alicia stop oversharing and you're concerned about the security of the children. It literally makes no sense to me. The anti-mommy vlogger community does that constantly. They are constantly putting a spotlight on all these little things that they perceive as wrong and dangerous for people to go look at. That's literally the most counterproductive thing I think I've ever seen in my life. Okay? And then I'm going to show you the clip in a minute of how Britt is blaming Alicia and saying she is solely responsible for what is happening to that family and why they need security in their driveway. And that is what really pissed me off about the video.
Now to me, 2 minutes and 37 seconds, you can see that they have a security vehicle sitting in their driveway. This is very alarming. Number one, to my knowledge, this is the first time that I have seen the security vehicle in their driveway at any point in time. I know that they had security with them at Comic-Con. That's a little bit different. You're going to a public venue, lots of different people. They're recognizable. I understood that part. But to have a security guard sitting in your driveway in the middle of the week, morning, when your kid is being picked up for school, this speaks very loudly to me. And I'm sure it does to y'all as well, and that's why I got the DMs about it. Not only is she, again, showing the school bus and the kid being picked up from school, one of her kids.
Yes, Britt, why don't you give all the people watching you who hate this family an exact timestamp of when the school bus is shown? Great idea. Wow, she really is as smart as she says she is.
Kid, or to go to school, one of her kids which we've talked about many times, so I'm not going to harp on it for a really long time in this video, but you know, it's bad enough people know where you live, people know where your kids go to school. Can you at least stop showing the damn bus picking your kids up? You're telling anyone who has bad intentions, this is the time that the school bus comes. This is the school bus number. I don't know if school bus numbers change. I haven't paid super close attention to it, but that's not even the most important takeaway from this. It's
Guess what? Britt is also sharing what school bus they are on. So what? She blurred the numbers out. She's literally telling people where to go see it. This is the kind of shit that makes no sense about doing commentary on these families. And, you know, they would make the argument all the time, like, oh, well, if I don't show receipts, people are going to say, you didn't show the proof. But that's the exact dilemma that you face when you are doing commentary on this topic. You face the dilemma of either not showing the receipts or spreading the said dangerous situation that you are talking about and claiming that Alicia is doing to her kids. You are literally directing people to it, and you are spotlighting it and highlighting it. That is counterproductive, and that is why, in my opinion, things like that should not be talked about. Because you cannot show the receipts without spreading what it is you're condemning Alicia for.
It's just that it goes back to the constant oversharing, and the fact that her own subscribers have talked about this so many times, and it continues to be ignored. So that tells me that she doesn't care. So as long as she doesn't care, I'm going to continue to talk about it. Now, will I talk about it for 25 minutes every single time? No, but I'm going to continue to mention it because this is so insane. But what's even more insane is the fact, how a few of y'all pointed out to me, 2 minutes and 37 seconds, you can see that they have a security vehicle sitting in their driveway. This is very alarming. Number one, to my knowledge, this is the first time that I have seen the security vehicle in their driveway at any point in time. I know that they had security with them at Comic-Con. That's a little bit different. You're going to a public venue, lots of different people. They're recognizable. I understood that part. But to have a security guard sitting in your driveway in the middle of the week morning when your kid is being picked up for school, this speaks very loudly to me. And I'm sure it does to y'all as well, and that's why
I'm so glad you said that, Britt, because it speaks very loudly to me too. Do you know what it tells me? That y'all have taken this too far. That all the channels who cover her have created a hate community and have fed a beast of people who hate her for months. And that is why she now needs security, because this family is under attack. And all the people who are constantly coming for her are partly responsible. You are. It's just a fact.
I got the DMs about it. I don't know whose idea this was. And unless Alicia comes out and gives a full...
Wait a minute, though. I thought Britt said that Alicia should be doing what she needs to do to protect the kids. What better protection than a security guard sitting in front of their house? But no, that's not good enough. Britt is going to pick that apart, too, because no matter what this woman does, Britt has something to say about it. Another point I want to bring up is nobody finds it alarming when celebrities have security. Celebrities have bodyguards and security. You guys keep comparing Alicia, saying she's a public figure and like a famous celebrity. So why is it so weird that she has security? Every famous person has security, right? Is Britt making videos about the Kardashians, saying the Kardashians need to make sure their kids aren't online and in their TikToks and in their videos, and their kids, you know, should not be shown anywhere? The paparazzi shouldn't be showing them. Why is it okay for famous kids and for all them to have security?
Full breakdown of why this security guard is sitting in their driveway, I'm not sure. But what it does tell me is there is some sort of threat to safety. And unfortunately, who is to blame for the safety being ripped away from their home? It's Alicia's oversharing. It's Alicia sharing where the kids go to school. It's Alicia sharing their schedules ahead of time. And yes, I know that not all the responsibility should be put on her plate, but from the get-go, if she would have taken their safety as a top priority, then people wouldn't have known where they live. Stop vlogging in front of your house. Stop oversharing all of this information. Stop telling people where you go grocery shopping. Stop showing the store receipts of the address of the Walmart that you're always at, or the Wegmans. And when people do mention that, hey, I know where you live, it's either met with a smiley emoji or some kind of joke or some kind of appreciation. No, I don't appreciate you knowing where I live. I would not appreciate that.
This is what really pissed me off and frustrated me, and why I wanted to add this in to this video. The people who are creating videos about this family and feeding the people who hate her and hate this family and are possibly dangerous are partly responsible for why this family is under attack. And I think people should at the very least acknowledge the fact that they are partly responsible. This is not just Alicia's fault. This is the fault of commentary channels, partly anyway. I'm not saying it's all their fault, but part of the responsibility and accountability should be put on the channels who have been making these videos about her for months, pointing out every little thing that she does in the videos and spotlighting this so-called dangerous oversharing that she's doing. Britt has time and time again put the kids on blast. She's even repeated their diagnoses. She's even saying where to go look to see this information. And not only that, having a community like this of subscribers and people who hate this family, and they have somewhere to go literally daily to talk about her and get riled up and get hyped up and angry and possibly do something crazy. So the fact that Britt and Josh and others are taking no responsibility for what is happening to this family is very frustrating. There are plenty of family vloggers out there that do exactly the same thing Alicia does. And they are not having these issues. They are not having people call the schools, jobs, CPS, stalking them, harassing them, blackmailing children. And you know why that's not happening to them? Because commentary channels are not making videos about them. There are not entire hate threads about them. There isn't an entire hate community about them that is being fed by creators on YouTube, making the situation worse. Please tell me how any of these videos are helping these kids in any way. You cannot claim that you care about her kids and claim that you're bringing awareness to what's happening to these kids, in your opinion, when you are the ones causing this. You are causing people to get more angry. You are causing people to continue to talk about them and point out every little thing that she does in videos. Literally, you guys spotlight the stuff that you say is dangerous and put it on blast. Britt literally promotes a Reddit that trashes the kids and spreads their personal information, posts their pictures, and Britt is getting information from that website. That's disgusting and it's wrong. When does commentary take responsibility and say, hey, we're making the situation worse. We're not helping. You are not bringing awareness to anything. You are hurting this family. And people need to wake up and take some freaking accountability for that. Not one thing that Britt has done anything to help the children, has done anything to help protect them, has done anything to protect their online and be safe. What has she done to help the situation? She has done nothing but make things worse and make a whole bunch of money. She's made thousands. Britt and Josh and everybody is making a ton of money. Britt has made thousands of dollars making content on this family while they are being stalked and harassed and put in danger where they literally have to put security in front of their house. It's not all Alicia's fault. Should she be sharing these things? No, I agree with that. But what I don't think is helpful or doing anything but causing more damage is making all of these videos about it. It's not doing anything. And if you really cared about the kids, you would care about what is most effective and what is actually best for the kids. And this has been something that I have been saying for over a year about this community. You cannot say that you care about her kids and that you are worried about her kids and that she's such a bad mom. The kids, when you are not actually doing what's in the best interest of them. What's in the best interest of the kids is for everyone to stop making videos about her, stop feeding the hate community. That is what would be best for those kids. But people aren't going to do that. Okay, I get it. You need to make money. You need it. It's your job. I understand that. But when you are causing more damage to a family that has that many kids, it's not okay. It's gross. It's fucking gross. And I am so sick of people making excuses for people like Britt and Josh. I mean, I feel like I already went through this with Josh for almost a year, calling the nasty stuff he was doing out. And people letting it go, making excuses. Well, the same thing is happening with Britt. Britt is Josh 2.0. She is no different than him. And all she has to hang on to is the fact that she doesn't call Alicia ugly. Big fucking whoop. Do you want a cookie? Do you want a trophy because you didn't say she was ugly? What about all the other damage Britt is causing? What about the harm she is bringing to those kids while condemning Alicia? It is so frustrating and it literally makes no sense. If commentary channels would stop talking about this family, maybe things would die down. Maybe the anger and the hype would die down. Maybe they would fly under the radar again. And people would move on to something else. We don't know that for sure, obviously, but if there's any way that you're contributing to the damage that is being done to these kids in this family, you should want it to stop. You should care, especially when you are claiming you care about the kids. It's gross, and it has to stop. A really good example of a situation like this is one of the reasons I stopped covering the Dad Challenge podcast for a while. One of the main reasons that I did that is because an entire hate community of anti-Dad Challenge podcast was created. A Discord, a lot of people were calling him out, which is great. It's great that people were bringing awareness to his nasty behavior. But what ended up happening is people were going too far. People were trying to find his family members and contact his wife and look through his family pictures. And people were being doxxed and it was too much. So I took a step back and I stopped covering him because I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to feed a hate campaign against somebody like that, okay? And I've made that mistake in the past to continue to talk about somebody when bad things are happening to them. Just because you are not yourself doing these things If you are contributing to it, you are also the problem. Okay, so I stopped talking about him for a while and things died down. Okay, people stopped talking about him. Not as much coverage was being done on him. All of this stuff that was going too far stopped. Because that's what happens when too many people get hyped up and angry at somebody, at a creator or somebody on YouTube. Sometimes the best thing to do is just to stop talking about the person for a while. And, you know, things have died down, things calmed down, and I'm doing some commentary on him today. But there is nothing wrong with just stopping for a while and backing away so you can at least try to help fix the situation and stop all the craziness and going too far. It's another reason why I always stop covering Katie Joy for a while, because things get all out of control in the community covering her also. And I'm not saying I'm perfect or I'm the moral authority or anything like that. I'm just giving you an example because I have learned and am trying to be better and be more aware of the effect that my channel has on people. If people started digging into Britt and harassing her and calling her job and doing all these things, and my videos were contributing to that, I would not be cool with that. Even though I don't like her, I'm not cool with that. Even though I had a problem with Josh, I'm not cool with that. Because that's not what commentary is about. Commentary is about just sharing your opinion on things happening online. But if things are getting too far and getting too carried away, the right thing to do is just to stop. And I don't know why people don't see that. They cannot get past the anger and the hate that they have for this family. Okay? And if you don't care about the kids at all, then whatever. Do your thing. But stop using parenting and kids as an argument. Unless you are doing what's in the best interest of her family and her children, you should shut the fuck up about what she's doing with her children. Because it is the biggest hypocritical bullshit that I think I have ever seen on YouTube. Okay. Let's move on to the Dad Challenge podcast. But I started watching him again, and he is like more outrageous than ever. So he decided to jump on the Doherty Dozen train. Surprise, surprise. And he's just constantly making fun of Alicia, how she looks, her groceries, and all this stuff. And now, of course, Radiant Britt has decided to start calling him out because somehow Radiant Britt thinks as long as she doesn't talk about people's looks, she's in the clear. That's not the way it works. Just because Radiant Britt carries herself in a calm way and tells everybody how level-headed she is, that doesn't mean that she's not going too far, and it doesn't mean that she's not being just as nasty as Josh. She is no different than the Dad Challenge podcast whatsoever. So she has some nerve now making videos calling him out because Alicia and her lawyers have sent Josh a cease and desist and are accusing him of cyberstalking. And Josh is not taking it seriously. Are we surprised? He thinks it's just like no big deal. He's not stalking anybody. But the problem is he is trying to get information about the family from sources who know them. He is trying to get information. That is stalking. He is most definitely stalking that family. You cannot go off of YouTube and try to get all this undercover information that is not on the internet and try to expose them. You can't do that. It's gross. It's wrong. And it's like, oh, so many of these commentary channels just take shit too far. Some people have made comments to me before and in the past about calling out other commentary channels and how they don't like if I come for other commentary channels. Here's the thing. One of the reasons why I do that is because a lot of the time I feel like some of the commentary channels are a million times worse than the people they're talking about. I 100% rather talk about people like Radiant Britt and Josh than go after mommy vloggers on the internet. It's like, what is happening on the internet? What is going on? Why are so many people on YouTube so nasty and toxic? And it's like nobody just sticks to adults and what they're doing on YouTube. They're talking about the kids. They're talking about the parenting. Josh is trying to get information that's not on YouTube so he can be the one to break the story and blast things. It's just insane. And if you guys watched my channel before, you know that I have talked about Josh having his subscribers call CPS on people before. He does that all the time. He did it with Danielle Cohn. He literally told people to call CPS, okay? And now people are calling CPS on the Doherty Dozen and saying they're subscribers of Josh. And they're doing it because of Josh. So not only is he stalking them and trying to get insider information of things that he thinks are going on inside the house, his followers are now calling CPS and the police on this family. It's awful. Josh has turned into like this weird anti-mommy vlogger troll that is just trying to be as outrageous as possible to get the views and make money, and it's gross.
This is what my lawyers told me. This is what they're trying to use because this is unsubstantiated. It's unprecedented. You can't, it's just, that's what the laws haven't really caught up. So they're like, well, he's cyber stalking us. But a cyber stalking would be like cyber stalking someone who's not famous. So if I'm cyber stalking the Doherty Dozen, then that means that every news broadcast or every, TMZ and all these channels who talk about famous people are cyber stalking everybody.
First of all, Josh is dead wrong. Just because somebody is famous does not mean that somebody cannot get in trouble for stalking them. Many people have been arrested and charged for stalking different celebrities. It happens all the time. You cannot harass somebody and stalk them and try to get personal information about their family and life and home. That is stalking. That is not commentary. I'm sick of this crap.
She puts the content out there. I comment on the content. So they're considering that cyber stalking. So
no, Josh, stop lying. They are not considering you commenting on their content as cyber stalking. You are trying to solicit information from people who know them in real life. That is not commenting on their content. That is going way too far as usual.
We'll see how that goes for them. Cool. Anyway, let's continue. Also, she says, that you ceased and desist from that, an invasion of our clients' privacy. Now, that's interesting because the private things that I'm about to tell you guys, they're not private. She's a public figure, and someone told me about those things.
I swear the logic with this dude. Okay, Josh, so if somebody you know in real life was telling a YouTuber things that are going on in your house, you're a public figure, right? Would you be okay with that? You literally put a strike on my channel because I showed a literally like 10-second clip of a blurred child of yours. But it's okay for you to try to get information about her children. The hypocrisy is real.
So anyway, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just saying what I think. My speech can be protected unless I'm lying. Okay. If I'm lying and saying people go harass them, go stalk them, go make their life terrible, I've never done that, nor will I ever. And I discourage that. But I'm not. I'll get to that in a second. In a recent video on your channel, you disseminated private facts about the Doherty children based on your own admission that you sent a source inside the Doherty home to gather that information. What? I sent a source. This lawyer is telling me that I sent a source inside the Doherty home to gather information. Okay. I don't know where she's hearing that. This conduct appears to be grossly illegal under civil and criminal provisions against cyber harassment in both Canada and the United States. First of all, they're going to have to prove that I sent someone into their home. and I didn't.
I'm so glad that Josh thinks this is funny, that him talking to people who know them in real life, who could be lying and making things up, might I add. I'm glad he thinks that's funny. This guy has no line he won't cross to make content and money off of it.
That's ridiculous. Someone who has been in their home, multiple people actually have reached out to me, if that's what they mean. I don't know if that's what they mean. So who's my spy? I don't have a spy. I don't. So yeah, it's paranoia. I think what's happening, I'll get to in a second. So that's hilarious that in a recent video, I said I sent a spy in. Okay, that's awesome. Your subscribers are taking their cues from this extreme and outrageous misconduct, resulting in a barrage of phone calls and emails to the Doherty's children's school and to Josh Doherty's place of work. Your subscribers have also made numerous false reports about the Doherty's to New York State Office of Children and Family Services, all of which has been found up substantiated. So what they're saying is that all of you guys have been calling the school and his school. And okay, I didn't tell you to do that. I'm not your dad. Do whatever you want. I am not responsible for what you do.
Really, Josh? You're not responsible? You weren't responsible when you told people to call CPS on Danielle Cohn and said, more CPS. More CPS, people. Call CPS more. Does anybody remember that?
On a family friend that was there from the beginning who said all this a while ago. Why is nobody listening? Why does CPS do nothing? More CPS, everybody. More CPS intensifies. Call them more. Call them more. And we got to find out legally how we can protect these kids, because clearly CPS can't do shit. Nobody's protecting these kids. There are nothing to help them.
I have mountains and mountains of proof on Josh stalking and harassing people on YouTube. I will leave that video down below, which gives a lot of examples of him and his harassment, him telling people to go to somebody's business in real life, him stalking Micah Stauffer's child, like the child she gave up, who she adopted, the new mother. He was stalking her on Instagram. There are many examples of him doxing and stalking people. So I will leave any relevant videos to that down below if anybody wants to see that, because this is not new for Josh. He's just actually getting a cease and desist, and a family is actually doing something about what he does to people for once. He just needs to stop this crap.
If you feel the need to call the Department of Children's Services because you feel like these kids are not in the right place, I can't tell you to stop that. Sorry. You're an adult. Do what you want. I'm not going to do it. I don't think calling Department of Children's Services will do anything. They're garbage. So,
of course you're not going to do it, Josh. You don't need to do it. Your fans do it, and you've told people to do it before. Your videos and all of the people who make videos on this family are now causing the children to be affected, her husband's job to be affected, schools being called, CPS being called. The commentary on that family needs to stop, in my opinion. It's not worth it. You cannot continue to make content on this family knowing what happens when you do and say that you care about her kids. It's just awful. Things have gotten so out of control. Nobody should be making commentary videos on her anymore. That family needs to be left alone. And that's just my opinion. It's not Alicia who is causing this. It's people like Josh, like Radiant Britt, all the subscribers, the Reddit, all of these people getting angry and hyped up when they watch videos about this family. You guys are causing this family to actually get harmed in real life. The children are being harmed. They're being harassed. Schools being called. You guys need to stop. You are the ones, and you cannot say, take the kids off and we'll stop. You are hurting the kids in the process. Radiant Britt making videos about the children. You guys are such hypocrites to sit there and say that Alicia is hurting her kids when you guys are the problem. You are the ones who are making the family get hurt. And it's disgusting. And I am so fucking sick of it. Why? Is the money that worth it to you? Do you guys need the money that bad that you don't care how her children are being affected by your videos and by the people who are coming after her? Alicia should be able to make vlogs. She should be able to make vlogs, share her life, and do what she wants without people coming after her. And the people who are coming after her are doing it because of your videos. How do you people not see that? It is insane.
So, and I've said that before. So it's interesting. In a recent video on your channel, so yeah, this conduct appears to be grossly illegal under civil and criminal provisions, blah, 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 both in Canada and the United States. It's not. It's stupid because I don't do that. Your subscribers are taking their cues from this extreme and outrageous misconduct, resulting in a barrage of, oh, I already read that, sorry. Been found substantiated. Virtually all of these communications parrot the exact talking points in your videos about our clients, and many of them contain outright threats of physical harm. Again, don't do that. I've never told you guys to ever do that. Don't do that. If you are, don't. But they're saying if people are...
Wow, Josh. You know, it really looks like he's so concerned about the people harassing this family. I mean, you can just see the emotion pouring out of him. Also, I suggest you don't wear that color shirt again, Josh, because it's draining the life out of you. You look dead. It's not your color.
Or sending messages saying, Josh sent me to do this, then you better have your receipt saying that I sent you to do this. Because I would never, ever do that. These kids' lives are already in enough danger.
Oh, there's plenty of receipts of Josh sending people to do things. And again, that video will be linked down below. The one video that I have, Josh Goes Real Life, has multiple examples of him sending his subscribers to do his dirty work. Oh, yeah.
And grossness as it is for somebody to be sending someone after kids. No, I've always said on this channel, always will say this. You take your children off, protect their privacy, protect your children, I will take my videos down about you. And then you can go on, continue to do your shopping hauls and be it all about you. I just need you to stop exploiting your children for cash.
Yes, you also need to stop exploiting the family for cash. And that seems like a threat to me. So if she doesn't remove her kids from the internet, Josh is going to continue hyping up his audience and enabling and supporting them and causing people to harass and stalk this family. That's a threat. That is a threat, in my opinion. It is.
And I've said that since day one. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of channels talking about, for sure. Dear lawyer, did you get the video of him sniffing his junk? So we are working with a Canadian firm to subject you to all possible civil liability in Canada. Okay. How can I sure, try it. And you can also be hailed into a U.S. court, both individually and through the agency representing you. I'm my agency. So no, I can't, because I've paid a lawyer quite a lot of money to see if that was possible.
Yes, the money that Josh makes from dragging mothers on the internet and stalking and harassing families. That's how he has the money for this fancy lawyer to help him. Real nice. And the hypocrisy with Josh is real because he didn't like it when people were coming for his family and trying to find his sister and try to reach out to his wife and find out all this personal stuff about him, was accusing him of human trafficking and all this crazy stuff. He didn't like that. That wasn't okay if you do it to him. And as far as the allegations that Josh is making against Alicia about strapping kids down in the bed and locking doors and all this stuff, first of all, we all know how reliable Josh's sources are. Do we remember Cleo Smith? Do we remember all the times people contact him to give him information that ends up not being true, that he doesn't vet, that he doesn't ask for proof of? This person could be lying. And second of all, if they are telling the truth, we don't know what the deal is. We don't know what the kids are doing with their therapist. We don't know what the treatments are that some of them are having to go through. We just don't know, and it's none of our damn business. Okay, we're done with Josh. This video is getting long. I want to talk really quick about Allinwithari, and then we're going to get to the small community and Roadhog stuff towards the end. So, I kind of haven't been keeping up with Allinwithari that much because I've been really busy. And as I say, like, a lot on my channel, I try to take breaks from covering people. You know what I mean? I just don't always want to be just like talking about every single thing somebody does. Now, do I cover multiple people multiple times? Yes, I do, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I do try to take breaks. But I watched a recent video of Allinwithari, and it was just so ridiculous. She was trying to show everybody how she lives in her car, which we all know at this point, allegedly, that she is not living in her car. The video was so staged. She was trying to show what it's like to sleep in the car and all this stuff, and it was so obvious that it was staged. Let's take a look. I mean, if it is not obvious at this point that she is pretending to live in her car, I really don't know what to tell people. I mean, come on. She needs to give it up. And this is not even the most interesting thing that happened on this video. I will tell you guys in a second what I saw. But I think what's happening here is because Ari is constantly on her Instagram pushing her Cash App. So she moved to Instagram since she was getting called out on YouTube all the time for grifting. You know, for a while there, I thought she wasn't a grifter. She was really just about the attention and fame and adoration. But I do think she is a grifter. And I say that because she moved to Instagram and is constantly pushing her Cash App on Instagram. I think the massive amount of money that she was making at first is not happening anymore. People have, you know, woke up and realized that she is a fraud. Nobody believes her. She did this whole thing where she was helping homeless people all the time. And I think what she's doing now is trying to convince everybody that she is homeless because people keep saying she's not and that she's lying. So she thinks staging this whole video and showing what she does and how she lives in her car is going to like somehow clear her name and convince people she's still homeless so they watch her videos like a homeless vlog and she makes money again. I truly don't think that's going to happen. She tanked her own career by lying and not being honest with her audience about what she's really doing. Everybody has caught on to the fact that she is a fraud, and I think she is grasping at straws to try to revive her career. Okay, enough about that. Now I want to get into... Oh, Giovanna is not having it. Okay, that is going to be it for part 1, you guys. I am going to be uploading part 2 at the same time or shortly after that this one is up, so you guys can check that out if you want to hear my opinion on all the nastiness going on in the smaller drama community. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.